Hey, on Western Sports Roundup, the Texas swing 4/5 of the way to the finish line. Barrel racer Kassie Mowry has been dominant. We'll tell you why.
And coming up also the X-treme Bulldogging Finals in Abilene, Texas. The first ever standalone event for steer wrestlers, and some of them cashed in big time over the weekend.
At Rodeo Austin, Texas, big time money paid out to the champions, including world champion 4-time Zeke Thurston.
All right, big jump out of the chute. Zeke Thurston. So far, so good. This horse is bucking. We've seen Zeke do this so many times. Great bronc ride for Thurston. Is it enough to get Cade Bruno? I don't know, but man, oh man, that horse.
Well, happy Monday, everybody, and thanks for tuning in with us on Western Sports Roundup. I'm Corey Keith, and that is Steve Kenyon, and we've got a lot of news to share with you here this week to kick things off. Of course, our Kubota Top Story comes to us out of Guthrie, Oklahoma, at maybe arguably the best team roping in the country.
Yeah, the 49th annual Bob Feist Invitational team roping, and a dominant performance. Tyler Tryan on the head side, Levi Lord on the heel side. Corey, they roped 6 steers throughout the course of the day on Sunday. They won the first go-round, and they never relinquished the title. They never relinquished the lead after that. They won it by over 4 seconds in the average, $80,000 a man. And for Tyler Tryan, that means keeping it all in the family. Thank you to Kendra Santos and a great piece she put on Facebook about all of this. But Tyler, his father, Clay Tryan, the 3-time world champion, the top money winner in the history of the BFI, $260,000, and now Tyler's got his first 80 grand.
Well, you might say that the Tryans are the kings of the BFI, and of course, Tyler Tryan, a former Rookie of the Year. Levi Lord, his first time to rope at this event in 8 years. Those guys got to stand alongside Haley Novak.
Yeah, his first checks in 8 years, and Haley Novak had a chance to visit with Tyler and Levi.
That's a lot of celebration out of the 2 you guys for that last run.
Yeah, I mean, it just naturally comes out. This has to be the toughest day in jackpot team roping. It's a grind mentally and physically. You have to, like I was telling Tyler, I roped and I went back to my stall and I didn't talk to anybody. I was watching the roping on my phone and that's it. So it seems like it's like mental warfare out there. And then so when you come through and it's over, it's a big relief. And obviously everything that comes with it is super important to us.
What did you do all day in between your runs, Tyler?
I didn't do much, to be honest. I roped. I'd go sit in stands for a while. I haven't ate yet today. I didn't let myself eat. I was like, I'm in a good groove. I'm not going to get full. And I actually fell asleep in between the fourth and our fourth and fifth steer in the stands. So,
did you eat anything today, Levi?
No, I didn't either. I think I'm come to find out the more I rope and the more guys you talk to, I think that might be a superstition of team ropers once they start the day. I know a lot of guys that don't want to eat and, I don't know what it is, but I didn't either. I think the toughest part of the day for me was in between the fourth and fifth one. We were like third out, or maybe not third out, but we were towards the front of the fourth round and very end of the fifth round. So you're 200 teams in between your fourth and fifth round. It feels like the day starts over. So I was just trying to keep busy and watch the roping and, just do what you can to pass the time.
So you take a look at Tyler Tryan and you take a look at Levi Lord right here and watch them going to work at the Lazy E. This really was a dominant performance. They were consistent throughout the entire scope of the Bob Feist Invitational. 5-4-5 in round 1. That won the round, $8,000. Placed in round 3 for another $2,000. The big number though, Corey, $150,000. That they split, winning the aggregate.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and hats off to Levi Lord. Yeah, I think we talked about this before the show. He has entered this event eight times, and he finally gets the win. And, of course, Tyler Tryan's a pretty young roper that's kind of just getting his feet wet, but he's a force to be reckoned with.
Tyler, last year, you might remember, he was roping in front of Denton Dunning at the BFI and got to the 5th go-round and had a chance just with a clean run to make it into the championship round and had a rut row on that run. And so every year he's gotten better at the BFI, and now at the age of 20, got to be one of the youngest BFI champions in history.
Well, it's crazy what a year can do, and congratulations to those guys. A big win, biggest win of their careers thus far, and they are just getting started this season. But speaking of somebody else that seems to get better every time we watch her. She is the defending champion of the world, and you might say that she is unbeatable, and that brings us to our unbeatable moment, and it's all about Kassie Mowry.
Yeah, it's all about Kassie Mowry. So what has Kassie Mowry done in 2026? She's been to 7 rodeos. She has placed at almost all of them, and she's won $125,000. The bulk of that money coming from winning Fort Worth, following that up with a win at Rodeo Houston for over $72,000, and then following that up with a $19,000 win at the Rodeo in Austin, Texas. So you see Texas swing earnings of $116,000. That does not include the fact that she just finished 3rd in the first go-round at the Rodeo in San Angelo for another $4,200. So she's over $120,000 on the Texas swing. She won a little bit out of San Antonio. She won a little bit out of Jackson, Mississippi. This is what Kassie Mowry does. She's been to 7 rodeos. She's won $125,000. She set herself up so that she can keep the rodeo count down, concentrate on training horses, and once again, she and Jarvis have got a great chance to have a major impact this year.
Yeah, they do. And of course, Kassie Mowry, no stranger to the winner's circle, so she's getting pretty good about these interviews, and here she is with Sierra.
Now, I still remember that run like it was yesterday in Fort Worth there in the short go. I mean, it just seems like Jarvis loves these last nights at the rodeos, knowing that he has got to put everything out there to win.
He definitely does build his momentum as he goes. I think he gets comfortable in an arena and he just frees up more.
He definitely does. And what is it about Rodeo Austin that you have to prepare for, you and Jarvis, coming into it with so many runs in this little building?
It is. Well, actually, we got an assist by my big gray horse, Will. He ran the long go and got me into the semifinals because we were at Houston on Jarvis. So I switched to run Jarvis here at Austin. He won this rodeo before, and I'm wanting to run Will tomorrow at San Angelo. So they really work well as a pair together.
This has to be a record for the most money won during the Texas swing for a barrel racer. And to think that Kassie Mowry, like, we're not even into April yet. I mean, this is just unbelievable. She's not, there's a reason she's a 2-time defending world champion.
Well, and there's a reason, let's face it, that she and the horses that she have trained have won almost or over $8 million. That's your unbeatable moment, brought to you by Unbeatable Feeds. No grain, no problem. Thank you to the folks at Unbeatable Feeds, and congratulations to Kassie Mowry. And like I say, she's sitting 3rd after the first go-round in San Angelo today, so she's got a chance of having a major impact in San Angelo as well.
Well, if she keeps this up, she's going to have a chance to maybe be in the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame someday. And speaking of Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, tomorrow night we will have the honor of announcing the class of this year. And looking forward to seeing who's on that list.
Corey, I get excited every year when it comes Hall of Fame induction time. It's usually late in the month of March, early in the month of April. Dave Appleton will join us tomorrow, and he'll have a chance to talk about all of this with the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. But this will be a first for us on Western Sports Roundup, to be able to bring you complete coverage of the induction, the class of 2026. They will go in July during the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo, and it should be an awesome day tomorrow. We hope you'll join us here on Western Sports Roundup.
Looking forward to that. But stick around, because we've not told you about the champions of Rodeo Austin who took home the branding irons. Well, we'll tell you about it coming up on Western Sports Roundup.
And we're going to tell you about a brand new something. It's not brand new, it's something that's been around. It's called Rodeo for a Cause. Corey was there. He'll have a chance to give you all the details. That's coming up on Western Sports Roundup. Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of the PRCA, and cowboys everywhere.
Old denim.
So there is a developing story that we are hearing about right now. Of course, some of you guys already know it. In the world of team roping, there is a split, but there's also a team that's being united. Tanner Tomlinson and Wesley Thorpe. And of course, to give us more about that, if you were watching Rodeo Live, then you heard the words from Coleman Proctor himself.
Honestly, a lot of times it's when chemistry doesn't work, that's when you got to find a new partner. All that happened, Tyler Wade said, I'm rolling it up and taking it home for the year. So that leaves Wesley Thorpe out there. You get a chance to row with a guy like Thorpe. Even Colby Payne told Tanner the other day, hey man, you get that opportunity, you've got to go take it. So that's really what that's going to come down to.
So you just heard Coleman Proctor talking about Tyler Wade saying, I'm going to go ahead and head home. Tyler has an ankle injury. He's had it most of the year. He and Wesley Thorpe, neither one of them are in the top 50 in the world standings right now. Remember, those two have partnered up for a pair of world titles in 2023 and 2024. So they have been one of the most impressive teams going in the team roping business. But as Coleman said, sometimes the chemistry doesn't work. And sometimes when the chemistry doesn't work, you make a change. There's a quote that I saw from a Team Roping Journal article where Wesley talked about, Tyler said a couple of weeks ago, maybe I'm going to go ahead and head home and work on some other projects, and they didn't really take him seriously. Last week, Tyler told Tanner, you might want to talk to Wesley, and now all of a sudden, here we are, Tanner Tomlinson and Wesley Thorpe, which to me has the potential to be a really dangerous team. Gonna rope together.
You want to talk about danger, better look out, Team Roping World. That is going to be a fun team to watch moving forward. Of course, anytime you get to head for Wesley Thorpe, I mean, I think that would be a pretty unique opportunity and one that you cannot pass up. But, of course, over the weekend, the branding irons, the famous branding irons at Rodeo Austin were handed out to all of the champions, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Of course, team roping, let's start right there with the team ropers first, and it's a team that we just saw make the breakup. Kind of an interesting story, if you don't mind.
Tanner Tomlinson and Colby Payne. Tanner's going to start roping in front of Wesley Thorpe. Colby is going to reunite that partnership that he had with two-time world champion Clay Smith. They win the rodeo in Austin, 11.6 on 3 head. With the go-around money, it was a pretty good payday for Tomlinson and Payne. Both of them are in the top 15 right now in the world standings.
Yeah, and they held that lead all the way through Rodeo Austin, so pretty impressive. Great way to go out, and of course, like we said, no hard feelings. They know it's a great opportunity ahead for both of those guys. Now, in the bareback riding, how about it for Bradlee Miller? 89.5 points on his final horse, No Whiskey from Butler & Sons. That's an NFR horse. That is a handful, but that was his best ride of the week, and it was worth $12,032. Bradlee Miller walked out of Rodeo Austin with just over $19,000. Puts him number 3 in the world with just over 90 on his career earnings.
You look at the bareback riding right now, the top 3 in the world standings are all really close, and they've all won a lot of money, and they're all really young and really hungry, and this is shaping up to be a really interesting race.
Yes, they are. It's going to be fun to watch all 3 of those guys. But how about a veteran in the steer wrestling? And I had a hard time believing that Nick Guy had not won Rodeo Austin, but he finally adds it to his resume this season. The 8-time national finalist, now 41 years old, from Sparta, Wisconsin, 13-2 on 3 steers.
You include the go-around money. It was over $10,000. Nick Guy needs to win a little to get into the top 15. This will help. 41 years old, as you mentioned, 8 times a national finals rodeo qualifier. Nick Guy had a chance to talk about his big win at Rodeo Austin.
Well, it was none other than Nick Guy here to get it done in the steer wrestling, and you just mentioned to me that it was a long time coming to feel this right now.
It is. It's been a long winter for me, and to come here and place in the second round good, and kind of got my runs back, that feel back, and to come back in the short round and do good. This has kind of been a long time coming. I got hurt last August and had surgery, and just kind of cracked back out this winter. So my horse is working great. I got to give a lot of credit to him and Eli Lord hazing for me, and we kind of just drove back down here with the fact that we were going to do good, and that's sometimes how it goes. So.
Now, the Texas swing is winding down, but we have so much season left ahead of us. Are you going to feel this momentum with this Rodeo Austin win to carry you through the rest of 2026?
I sure hope so. I'm going to go to Angelo next week, and then I got a baby coming in April, so I'm going to take April off and then get back at it in May.
Congratulations to Nick Guy on winning Austin and on the baby that's coming in April, which starts on Wednesday, by the way. Here's Sawyer Gilbert. She won the average at the national finals of breakaway roping, won the world in 2021, and here she is winning Austin, a time of 1.8 in the short round.
Yeah, not her first time to win this rodeo. Last time was 2023, but she clocks in at 1.8 to win the championship yet again. She is in the top 20 of the world standings according to the WPRA website earlier today, so congratulations to Sawyer Gilbert. And of course, saddle bronc riding, a man that's kind of been, I want to say, a little quiet, but the world champion is starting to make some noise.
If you look at Zeke Thurston over the last couple of years, he's been a little quiet during the winter and the spring, and then all of a sudden, there he is in the top 10 or the top 5. He's 34th in the world right now, but he just won over $12,000 in the short round, over $19,000 in Austin. This is a Butler & Sons horse called Green Bay, 91.5 points. Zeke Thurston doing what Zeke Thurston does, and Zeke Thurston speaking with Sierra Spratt about all of it.
Well, it was none better than Zeke Thurston and a monster score of 91.5. What an incredible ride. Did you think at any point, all right, I think I got it here?
No, not really. That horse bucked extremely hard. For no bigger than he is very strong, very powerful, and yeah, I just kept kicking away. I was glad to hear the buzzer.
Now with Rodeo Austin, it's that sudden death feeling. Do you have that energy kind of coursing through you, jump after jump, knowing that you got to just hang it all out on the line?
Absolutely. They're very fun, these tournament-style rodeos, especially you get in the finals, it's sudden death, everything bucks hard, you know, you just get to go out there and go at them, and it makes it exciting.
Well, you know, if Zeke Thurston says that horse is bucking, that horse was definitely bucking hard for the world champion. But how about this tie-down roper getting geared up for the final stop of the Texas Swing? He grabs Rodeo Austin. I'm talking about St. Angelo's Dylan Hancock, and what a way to grab some momentum heading into your hometown rodeo.
Yeah, 7-6 in round one, 8 flat in the finals, 25 flat on 3 head, almost $16,000. A short round paid $7,900. And you're right, now to the tie-down roping capital of the world, his hometown rodeo, the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo. And that momentum could carry him right on through.
Yeah, and speaking of the momentum, we just talked about Kassie Mowry and how much she has dominated the last 2 seasons, but she has been pure domination, annihilation during this Texas Swing. It has been impressive. I think you quoted just a moment ago, if you add St. Angelo, 120,000 just during the Texas Swing.
125,000 just during the Texas Swing.
Let's get that right.
Yeah, let's get all that right. I mean, it's a lot of money. Congratulations to Kassie Mowry. Bull riding, Quinn Anderson has, I actually called Quinn earlier today. You and I were talking, he hasn't been to a lot of rodeos. He said, I'm fine, I'm healthy, everything's good. He just wanted to take some time and have a lot of rodeos left to use in the summer. Well, he just won $13,000 in the short round, over $16,000 overall on this bull called Wingman from Butler & Sons, win the bull riding in Austin.
Yeah, this Quinn Anderson's pretty impressive. Just coming off his first national finals last season, was in that running for Resistol Rookie of the Year, and now trying to make his sophomore season memorable. But Quinn Anderson had a chance to stand next to Sierra Sprague.
Well, the Australian Cowboy seems to be having a pretty good time here in Texas. Quinn Anderson takes home the bull riding with an 89-point ride. You were the big talk of our show that we had before this rodeo started. Jacobs Crawley was really excited about that bull you drew. Were you as well?
I was super excited for that bull. I actually had him in Greeley in the short round there, and I won Greeley on him last year too, on him. So I was super pumped when I seen the draw last night and couldn't wait to get down here.
Now, what is it about that bull style that really seems to complement your riding style?
Oh, I just think he's a great bull, you know, a lot of up and down and a bit of gas, and yeah, you couldn't ask for much more.
Now, this rodeo is so exciting. The crowd was so excited for you. Do you feel that energy of the crowd right when you nod your head?
Yeah, the energy is everything, you know. Like you said, the energy in the building just makes us want to ride better and makes everything else better too.
Quinn Anderson was part of that great Rookie of the Year class last year. The 4 rookies that qualified for the NFR. Here's a complete look at the champions of Rodeo Austin. Bradlee Miller's been great this year. I can't get over Tanner Tomlinson and Colby Payne. They win the rodeo in Austin. It's the last time they're going to rope together. Now they're going to go off with different partners. We will see how it all ends up working out for all of them.
Yeah, you might say it's a bittersweet moment for that team. But Bradlee Miller, the bareback riding champion of Rodeo Austin, he will join us, and he always has a lot to say when he joins us on Western Sports Roundup. Stick around. Bradlee's coming up.
Are so detailed to our hands that switching and borrowing someone else's can kind of be a struggle. So I was sure nervous that we would get out of there without equipment breaking.
Well, and I would hate to see you have any equipment trouble, especially, you know, I don't know if you have a recent history of maybe latigos breaking or leather straps breaking on your rigging like at Rodeo Houston, but didn't have that problem at Rodeo Austin.
For sure, I fixed that. I had a D-ring rip out of my cinch in Houston, and I did a big backflip. I definitely checked my equipment a lot better since then.
Hey, I also want to ask, when it comes to that equipment, like on a repair like that, how long does it take you guys to fix that issue? Is it, do you have to send it off? Does it take a week, or do you guys try to fix them yourself?
Well, the issue that I had was just a cinch breaking, so I just went and picked up a new one. But whenever it comes to rigging breaking, it takes 4 or 5 hours to to grind on and get a rigging the way that you want it to feel. So, thankfully I haven't had a broken rigging in a little while, but whenever that happens, it's not something you can fix before the bronc riding, and that's normally where they put you whenever you have trouble like that.
Bradlee, Austin's one of those tournament-style formats, multiple stock contractors. You got on 3 horses. We just had a chance to watch the video of them. Buckle Bunny from Dakota, Smoke Bomb from Butler, and then in the championship round, No Whiskey from Butlers. Was there anything similar to those 3 horses? Were they 3 completely different styles? What did you feel when you got on them?
Well, 3 completely different horses. Buckle Bunny in the first round. I think that you could almost ride that one left-handed and still get a score. But then the second one, it had some tricks to it, kind of rolling its shoulders around. And every jump was a different jump. Like that horse there we see, every jump looks pretty dang similar. So finding the timing's easy. This one here kicks high and then kicks flat and then high again, changing leads. 2 totally different style horses. And then No Whiskey leaves the buck and shoot really strong, and then made that really tight circle with me here towards the end. And once a horse makes this circle, if you watch her front feet, they might land in the same spot twice and then jump forward 10 feet the next one. So that's one of those where riding it jump for jump really comes a literal term, because every jump is so much different. So the experience of getting on hundreds, if not 1,000 head of bucking horses at this point really comes into play to be able to feel what that horse is about to do, but before they do it.
Well, and so when that horse goes into a circle like that, it's really hard to set your feet, maybe for some guys, but is that something that you prefer? Do you like when horses do that?
Whenever a horse comes around tight like that and is still kicking, it's something that you want, because the difficulty factor of the horse goes up, so the score shows that. And but a lot of times it is hard. The inside foot and that spur in motion, it's hard to keep your feet even, and a lot of times your outside foot will get to swinging with the centrifugal force that the horse has, and the inside wants to stay tight, and it'll throw your hips completely out of whack. But thankfully that horse was getting off the ground enough and giving me enough time to do all I could, and I was able to keep my feet as even as possible.
So, Bradlee, let me ask you about your situation where you're at right now in the world standings, because we're off to a big-time start in the bareback riding. Lacey Shallow's got over $97,000. Rocker's got about $94,000. You're sitting there at $90,000 right now. Actually updated even a little bit more than when I looked at it earlier. You're only about $7,000 out. But that top 3 right now, it's loaded with young guys. And the thing I see as a commonality between all 3 of you, attitude and explosiveness. You're all really positive guys that, have got a lot of, you always got a smile on your face, all 3 of you. I think I like that about you guys.
Yeah, for sure. The 3 guys, that me and Lacey and Rocker, I think that we're all laying it out all on the line. And right now that's what the judges want to see. 3 completely different styles, but all of them have a lot of exposure and are giving horses a chance to buck you down. But yeah, those 2 guys are riding at the top of their game, and I feel like I'm finally back at the top of mine after last year, the end of the year, and including the NFR. I felt like I wasn't completely 100% back riding as good as I was, but I feel like since Houston, I've finally gotten some stuff fixed, and I'm back to where I was, so I'm able to compete with those guys again.
Now, when you say you were maybe a little bit frustrated after the NFR, maybe not riding to your full potential, you say Rodeo Houston is where it kind of came together. Explain to everybody sitting at home, what did change?
So after tearing my groin, I got on a few bucking horses with a torn groin, and you're really in a save yourself mode. And for me, trying to ride a horse without giving myself a chance to get hurt or giving my groin a chance to get pulled or torn again, I was really kind of rocking forward whenever a horse jumps, and then leaning back when they kick. And the short round of San Antonio was a perfect example of that. And that horse there, Wild Thing, it was the same one I got on in the short round of the 4-man of Houston. And I was really leaning forward to pull my feet up to my rigging. And when I got back to the locker room, I was really frustrated because I knew I I wasn't riding to my full potential. And I asked Rocker, and he said, if you were to kick a door in, would you lean forward and kick it in, or would you lean back and put your butt into it? And that made me realize a lot. So I went back and got on the spur board for a week straight. And coming into Houston, I felt like everything had changed, which is kind of crazy that one of the guys that I'm competing against is the one that really reminded me of something so simple that, changed. And I feel like I'm back to where I was now.
So, Bradlee, before we let you go, San Angelo's getting underway. Rodeo in Redmond, Oregon's a pretty good pan rodeo. That's this week. Corey asked you about Logandale, Nevada before we started this interview. That's coming up. The nature of a lot of the rodeos that you guys are going to be going to is changing. You're going from these big, long tournament-style rodeos in Texas. Now, all of a sudden, you might be going to more rodeos week by week. What's your schedule look like coming up? Am I right in what I just said?
Yeah, for sure. I'm entered in Logandale. The rodeos here lately have been really close to home. I've been able to drive within 3 hours to get to these rodeos that pay huge, and now I have to catch a 4-hour flight to get to them. I'm not going to Redmond this year. I don't get a weekend off hardly. I don't let myself have a weekend off all year long. And that weekend at Redmond, I was looking at the schedule, and that was the only big paying rodeo that week. So I took it off, and I'm going to go fishing or something, do something with my friends because they're off on the weekends. And so normally we never get to do anything fun because whenever they're working, I'm home, and whenever they're home, I'm working. So we're gonna take a weekend and call it a personal day or something.
Well, I think, Bradlee, I think you just answered a question for a lot of us sitting at home. Go win a major rodeo and say, well, that's it. I'm going fishing, and I hope you enjoy your weekend off here in a couple weeks. But I do hope to see you in Logandale, Nevada next week, my friend.
I will. We'll see y'all then.
That's bareback rider Bradlee Miller, right now number 3 in the PRCA's world standings. Bradlee, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, a little history over the weekend. Taylor Telecom Arena, Abilene, Texas, the very first X-treme Bulldogging finals. We'll tell you about it coming up.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We do have some breaking news for you tonight. And in regards to the professional bull riders, the PBR, they have plans to expand their team series to not 10 teams, but now adding 2 more to make it 12. It's going to be fun watching.
The professional bull riders launched the team series with 8 teams playing in 2022. They've added 2 already a couple of years ago. Here's what the PBR posted on social media. PBR teams is growing with strong interest from prospective ownership groups. The PBR intends on introducing team competition to 2 new North American cities. Stay tuned.
Oh, and the eyes have me drawn in already, so stay with us to find out where those stops are going to be. We'll try to keep you up to date as soon as we know something. But something else that's been going on over the weekend, you might say history was made in Abilene, Texas, with the largest ever standalone bulldogging event in the history of professional rodeo.
There's a look at the opening. The guys running out. 40 of them competed on Sunday. They had a big qualifying event on Friday, and then they brought 40 in, $100,000 on the line Sunday at the X-treme Bulldogging Finals held in Abilene over the weekend. It was a 4 go-round competition, and then a short round after that, go-round number 1. Let's take a look at it. Who turned in the fastest time? This guy, Dalton Massey, out of Oregon. Been to the NFR twice. Stopped the clock here in a time of 3.4. That is the fastest time of the entire weekend in go-round number 1.
Yeah, he kind of set the pace right there in the first go-round. And just look at Dalton Massey throwing this steer down with some authority. That's the Dalton Massey we've been looking for this season. He jumps inside the top 20, number 17 in the world currently. But then you move to round 2. This is the story I love. This is the rookie, the number 1 rookie right now, Colin Fox. Not far behind Massey, 3.9 is where he stops the clock. This Texas Cowboy, only 20 years old, finds himself number 19 in the world standings.
Yeah, Massey 17 in the world. Fox is 19 in the world standings. As you watch that 3.9 right there, he is a really talented young bulldogger, as Corey mentioned, number 1 in the Resist All Rookie of the Year race. So that brings us to go round number 3. And the number 6 man in the world standings trying to get to his very first Wrangler National Finals rodeo. This is Tyke Kip from New Mexico, and a time of 3.7. It paid $4,642 to win a go-round. So that's a pretty good check, and if you start adding go-round money and other rounds on the short round along to it, Tyke Kip, $4,642. He started the day number 6 in the world.
Yeah, and you might remember last year he won the Cheyenne Frontier Days. That's what kind of put him on the map. Now all of a sudden he's a contender to maybe go to his first NFR, well inside the top 15 for the moment. But there's a man that we have watched at the NFR, not once, not twice, but how about 11 times? And 5 gold buckles later, Tyler Wagaspak, this was in the final round, 4.1. And you always know when Tyler Wagaspak throws a steer hard because he always grabs his hat at the end and he just kind of glances back for just a second and walks away with a pep in his step. I love it when Tyler Wagaspak is on.
Yeah, second in the world standing. So here's the overall champion, Stetson Jorgensen. 5-1 in round 1, no money, and then he placed in round 2 with a 4-4, was just out of the money with a 4-6, and in the finals he was 4-4. That tied for third in the short round. So Stetson Jorgensen and the forehead average was good enough to win $12,752, trying to get to his 7th NFR.
Yeah, he's been impressive, been really impressive this season. And, of course, when you get to do that, Casey Jones was there on site getting to interview these guys. So let's get back to the interview.
Yeah, that horse was just was a reject, and he picked up the Bulldog super fast. Funny story about him, he's deathly afraid of cattle when they're in front of him, or when they look at him, you know, but he's right up, stick up their backs, and he's doing great.
And that's your Hazen horse too?
Yes, sir, that's Jasper.
Maybe 3rd or 4th in the finals and won the average, won a lot of money. You're going to add to that big total this winter. Good job.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I got diaper money now.
Well, good job.
I think you did great. I think you did great. Good job, Stetson. Thank you, Michael, so much for this event. This is great.
So how much you get of that money Hazen for him?
Oh, I don't know, but me and Stetson about to go back and figure this out on paper. This is a good day.
So here's a look at it, and 4 Bulldoggers during the Extreme Bulldogging finale found themselves winning over $10,000. There you see the list. Jorgensen, Gavin Swallow, Talon Roseland, Tyler Wagaspak, Chance Howard picked up a pretty respectable $6,400 for the number 5 spot. This was a good paying day for the steer wrestlers, and it's something that I know they'll try to build on with the help of Cedar Gap Wealth Management over the next few years.
Yeah, excited. If you missed it, of course, it's still on Cowboy Plus, but you'll be able to watch it on air, on TV, re-airing it at 8 o'clock Eastern, April 2nd. That is this Thursday, so be sure to keep that in mind. Put that on your DVRs, and you won't want to miss the top 40 steer wrestlers in the world. Hash it out in Abilene. Speaking of Abilene, there was a heartfelt event that happened there a couple of weeks ago. Rodeo for a Cause with the Roping Rascals. It will tug on your strings of your heart. Stick around with us and find out more while you're watching Western Sports Roundup.
Amazing event. You will witness some things, and it'll come to the heart hardcore. And yeah, that's kind of where it came from, and the reasons for doing it.
Well, so I know it really, truly did touch me personally, and it was such an honor to be a part of it. But what do you think it means to a volunteer to be able to take some time out of their day to come over and be a part of this? I know you had different stations. You guys were giving horseback rides, and we were teaching kids how to rope the dummy. We even had a mechanical bull, a makeshift mechanical bull, and even a petting zoo. But tell us about the volunteers and how this impacts them.
Yes, sir. So the volunteers, again, anytime you can come and be a part of something like this and put forth your time and your effort and slow down in our busy lives to see the pure happiness of these kids and experience what they get to every day, and learn something from them, right? I mean, they live in pure emotion all the time, whether, you know, most of the time good, and sometimes just raw, in the sense of they're going to tell you how they feel, what they're thinking. And for somebody to come in that has experienced that for years or been a part of something like that, or somebody that's completely off the street that's never got to witness that, it's an amazing event, an amazing experience to just be able to connect with these kids and help them see things and be a part of something that they might not get experience in their everyday life. And again, for these volunteers, you know, I guarantee you'll walk away with a different outlook on life and a different feeling of importance and sense of accomplishment and just true happiness inside.
Well, I know this is the first time that Ropin' Rascals has been to the state of Texas. So I guess now I'm going to ask, how did we get to Abilene? That's my next question.
Yes, sir. So, Rodeo for a Cause, again, there in Abilene, Texas, is a tremendous event. But we got there, so we're in the construction industry, working on a project there, one of the data centers actually, and working with Kiewit and Vantage and Oracle. They both wanted a way to give back to the community of Abilene and show forth their good standing and just who they are as people and as companies. And fortunate enough for us, we worked for them in the past and with them, and they've been to our Ropin' Rascal event and through conversation, just realizing, hey, can you guys come put this event on in Texas? And we're like, well, you bet, actually, absolutely. And to see the town of Abilene come together from, again, whether there's the Ropins and the breakaway to the charity event and the day event for all these kids to the participation and support at night was tremendous. Thank you to all of them and everybody that's part of it.
So now you guys are getting geared up for your event. To my understanding, it's the 10th annual event coming up the first week of May. Tell us about that event and how can people maybe get involved that are sitting at home right now that want to be a part of this event coming up?
Yes, sir. So 10th annual Ropin' Rascals. We host it here in Colorado, Roggen, Colorado at our ranch. Again, it'll be a 2-day event full of about 300 special needs kids that come from all different areas, whether it's in the school system or after-hour programs, and just be a cowboy for the day. You can get involved by going to ropinrascals.com. You can be a volunteer. If you have a kid or a relation or know somebody that would love to have this experience that has special needs, we'd love them to be a part of and come witness a tremendous day.
Well, Cody, I seriously appreciate you taking your time to tell us about these events. And seriously, thank you guys for what you're doing for the rodeo community and for all the special needs kids out there. It truly is a testimony to who you guys are and your company and everything that you stand for. So we appreciate it.
Hey, we thank you guys and everybody that's been a part of it. It's been a great experience, and we hope we continue forward and hopefully some more events. So thank you and the rodeo community.
Absolutely. Hopefully you guys have a chance to stop by there at the Huwa Ranch in Roggen, Colorado, May 5th and 6th. For more information, go to ropinrascals.com for more info to get involved. But stick around with us. When we come back, we will tell you about the champions from the Ellis County Livestock Show and Rodeo in Waxahachie, Texas. There were some big-time scores and great runs in all events. We'll tell you more coming up.
Well, let's talk about a big event over the weekend. You had a chance to watch it on Cowboy Plus, Waxahachie, Texas. As you take a look at the action there behind me and Corey, the Ellis County Fair and Rodeo. And they had a pretty good turnout and pretty good showing and handed out a lot of money.
Yes, they did. It's been a great rodeo and a rodeo that is growing the last couple of years. And take a look at the bareback riding. It was a Kansas Cowboy Prairie Circuit champion. That's Bryce Eck on a championship pro rodeo bucking horse called Pistol Princess. It was worth 85 points. And, you know, that kid's been pretty impressive the last couple of seasons, too. College national finalist for the Greyhounds of Fort Scott. Fun to watch.
Yeah, one of two bareback riding brothers. Dad's a pickup man. Let's talk about the steer wrestling next. And in the bulldogging, the #1 time turned in by the former Resist All Rookie of the Year, Landris White, a 3.7. Landris, super athletic guy. He was a really good football player in high school. 3.7, $2,832 for Landris White to win the steer wrestling in Waxahachie.
Yeah, and good enough to play football for Tarleton State University on top of that. But how about team roping? It was Forrest Fisher and Daniel Brallman. They stopped the clock at 4 seconds, and that'll pick them $2,717. And this rodeo is going to have some impact on those Texas circuit standings moving forward in this season. A lot of great rodeos starting to pick up this time of year, especially the outdoor rodeo scene is well underway.
Talk about the saddle bronc riding. Wyatt Laverne right here, 84.5 Championship Pro Rodeos American Pie, $2,391 for Wyatt Laverne. Pretty spur ride, didn't need to wait for the pickup man, but they're going to write him a big check as he finishes as the #1 spot in the saddle bronc riding at the Rodeo in Waxahachie.
Yeah, that's a 19-year-old kid who looks like he is having a really good time this season. But how about barrel racing? An interesting fact, Kayla Costa, the wife of Marcus Costa, NFR tie-down roper world champion, over 235 entries in the barrel racing, and she stops at a 15-1-3 to win it all. I'd say that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and those 235 entries helped us to pay really, really well, $4,407 for Kayla Costa, who is the champion in Ellis County. So let's talk about a bull rider whose name you need to remember. We interviewed him a couple of weeks ago here on Western Sports Roundup. Noah Lee, the son of the PBR great Mike Lee, on a bull called Domestic Violence, 89.5. He's 18 years old. And this is a 44-point bull, a 45.5-point ride. He's third in the Resistol Rookie of the Year race, 24th in the world standings. He's gotten on 11 bulls this year, Corey. He's ridden 9 of them.
Yeah, I would say he comes from good stock.
And of those 9 rides, 7 of them are 87 points or higher.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable stat that you're looking at. This rookie class is pretty impressive. There's a look at all of the winners from the Ellis County Livestock Show and Rodeo. Hopefully you had a chance to buy a ticket and watch it live. But it's time for our top 3 stories brought to you by Veterson Clean, Treat, and Heal. Of course, some team roping changes with Tanner Tomlinson, Colby Payne, and the world champions Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe. But they will move on and continue to rope at the highest level.
Yeah, and let's talk about steer wrestling and a historic event over the weekend as the first ever X-treme Bulldogging finals took place. The Taylor Telecom Arena in Abilene. Stetson Jorgensen, consistent over 4 runs. He ends up winning the 4-head average. In the process, over $12,700. Jumps to the #3 spot in the PRCA's world standings. Barrel racing, Kassie Mowry, she won Fort Worth. She followed that up with a win in Houston. She followed that up with a win at the Rodeo in Austin, her 3rd Texas swing victory. She was 3rd in slack at the slack for San Angelo, so she's got a shot at having big money coming out of San Angelo, too. She's already won $125,000.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. On behalf of Steve Kenyon, I'm Corey Keith. Thank you for watching Western Sports Roundup on this Monday. Stay classy, everybody. We'll see you next time.